Hello, welcome back to the James Ramblin' Reviews, and today it could be sunny in Scotland, it might just be a Wednesday, 2 days away from Friday, which also means it's almost the weekend, but today we're talking about a movie. And I know I have done the sports videos, trying to mix up the channel, make more variety going forward, and make things more interesting, build a bit of variety so I'm not just doing the same old content all the time, but I'll still bring it back, talk about movies, but there is all of that to be said about all of that. However, just for a bit of context, I absolutely love Nicolas Cage, and if you can't tell already from my channel videos, or when I used to do the James Ramblin' Show where I would ramble on about films I watched or things I was up to, I had this thing where I just went for it with the Nicolas Cage movies and loved Con Air, loved The Face Off with John Travolta, loved a good few of his films, at least more than a few I think, and I've seen those movies about 2 or 3 times, and the one with Pedro Pascal I like as well. But before we get into obviously how I felt about this movie, what I'd give out of 10, I also have to mention why I decided to review this movie, why I decided to watch it in the first place. So just to stop me from beating around the bush or going on and blethering or rambling for ages, what led me to this film was just someone that I know that I have been becoming friends with for the past while. We have been talking about films, and he just said, James, you're going to enjoy this movie, you should watch it. It's been on my list now for a little while, like a week and a bit or something like that, and I have sat down and watched the movie. And so what I will start off by saying is, if you want to know what this movie is actually about, it's kind of like a quick but a historical epic, because it's an hour and a half. I watched it on YouTube free with ads, but it's not like Braveheart or other like historical epics where it goes 2-3 hours long and it's a big journey. The hero discovers something about himself, there's a big battle, and then it continuously just develops the storyline, finishes it off about 2 hours plus later. No, this is an hour and a half where it just goes straight to the point, gives you everything you need to know about the movie, and then you're over and done with it before you know it. So there is that, and it is all about the Dark Plague, how there's this book that can possess people, and the plague can take shape, and something's about to give, and when something is about to give, what I mean by that is something's about to stir in the plot, something's about to happen, something's about to kick off, something's about to go wild, about to go hog wild. The plague takes itself forward, and it goes through these people in this part of history. You get these battles in the movie too, and you really see for yourself what these characters are after and things. So that's what I'll say about the movie itself. What did I personally like? Because that's what I'll start off by saying. And because it's a Nicolas Cage movie, you have to talk about Nicolas Cage. He is really the best part of the film. Sure, I do like Ron Perlman. There's a cool, quick cameo with Christopher Lee in the movie where he has the plague, and it shows you this moment where you just see him have a powerful performance like he did in Lord of the Rings, and he just was a really good actor. And obviously, rest in peace, Christopher Lee. He's one of the best actors to ever be in Hollywood, so there is all of that. But I did like the acting from Nicolas Cage. I did like all of that. I also thought that the pacing was quite good in the film too. Like, the first a little bit, it builds up the storyline, but then as soon as the battles start happening and everything else happens, it just goes in like that. It just goes in like that, it just goes zoom, you're over and done with it before you know it, like I said. So there is that. Like the acting, like the action where they fight the knights and all of that, and the armour and things, and how there are some bits of blood, so if you don't like blood, then gory bits and things, I don't think you would like the movie, but it doesn't do too much of that. It just has a quick stabbing of a head or whatever, and then you're kind of done with it after that. So that is all of that. I will say, when it comes to the things that I didn't like about this movie, which there's not a lot of things I didn't like, but there's a one or two things I wasn't overly crazy about. Was the visual effects, where you could just tell, because it's a 2011 film, it's not going to have 2026 CGI visual effects animation. So the wolf that happens to be in this movie, yeah, it doesn't look the greatest, but you kind of just have fun with it, play along with it and enjoy it while it's happening. So there is that. I've already said about the acting, enjoyed all of that. Said already about what I didn't like was just kind of some of the visual effects. And so overall, I'll give it, because of the visual effects, I'll still give it a 7 out of 10. Well, a 7 out of 10 for the visual effects, but for the acting, I would nudge it right up to an 8 out of 10. So it goes from being a 7 out of 10 with the visual effects to an 8 out of 10 with the acting, because it is a good movie to watch. But it's not a movie I'm gonna go back and re-watch and all this stuff, because there's so many movies to kind of go through and there's so much to choose from, that once I finish reviewing this movie, I will still remember enjoying the film, but because there's so much movies that I've got to review as well, there's going to be a point where, am I really going to have a chance to watch this again? Because I will eventually watch it again if I feel like watching those epic battle scenes again and seeing Nicolas Cage act that certain way, the way he has that sort of commanding presence, and he just says everything with so much style. He's just smiling and stuff like that, and so there is all of that. And I will be honest, although I did say about the visual effects in this movie and how they are kind of silly and you just play along with it, this movie in certain ways looks a little bit better than some films that you see nowadays as well, where some films just feel overly polished to the point where you can't even see a stain on a screen, whereas this movie, it tries to have that gritty, raw edge to it, where it just shows you how this is all about the plague and how this is all about how something really, really horrible is going to happen to people. So overall, I explained what I could. I went for the context, what I didn't like, what I liked, all of that, combined it all into the pot of my review discussion pieces and put it in there for it all to be happening. So there is all of that. Hope you enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for more like this one, and I'll be back for more reviews on this channel. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and if you get time today, stop by and watch my video. So see you after, goodbye, see you after the James Ramblin' reviews, another review of a Nicolas freaking Cage movie. Bye.